Alun Chalton had waited years for this moment. His hope that the Court of Appeal would dismiss his murder conviction.
For the reasons given in the judgment handed down today, the appeals against conviction of Alun Chalton and Idris Ali are dismissed.
But his dream was crushed in 12 seconds as the judges threw his appeal out. It means his murder conviction and the manslaughter conviction of a second man, Idris Ali, still stand. And at the centre of it all, the death of a young, vulnerable girl.
Very caring. She wanted affection. That was what, she had a heart of gold underneath, really.
For most of us, Karen Price is the name of a murder victim. But for Val Hill, it's the name of a former pupil. For 2 years, she was Karen's teacher, while the teenager was living in care.
She had nobody, really, who took a keen interest in her. She wasn't with anybody, she wasn't living with anybody who loved her. Sometimes she'd run and she'd be picked up by the police. On the street, she'd run out just into the darkness and she'd be picked up regularly. But finally, she wasn't picked up, she just vanished into thin air.
But Karen didn't vanish. She'd been murdered and her body was hidden and undiscovered for 8 years. She disappeared in 1981. In 1989, workers on a house in Cardiff discovered unidentified remains. A clay reconstruction of the skull identified her as Karen Price. Alun Chalton was found guilty of murder in 1991. Idris Ali was also found to have murdered the teenager, but in 1994 he changed his plea and said he was guilty of manslaughter, and he was freed.
And now I want to live my own life and carry on.
All behind you.
Last month, their convictions were sent back to the Court of Appeal, with questions hanging over the original police investigation. But the dismissal means Alun Chalton will remain in prison, where he's been for 25 years, serving time as a convicted murderer. As for Val, she still cherishes the years spent with Karen. Karen gave you lots of things,
Yes.
you're saying.
Yes.
She gave you photos,
Yes.
but she gave you something very special.
Yes.
What was it?
It was this necklace. She had a whip round one Christmas. She organised it. She chose it. And that was my Christmas present. And I treasure it. It's my souvenir of Karen Price.